This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. This that CSZ game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55, what's goody? Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. Them other shows spread fake news. We just call them broadcast. West, Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dunk. And you know that boy Higgy. He said he don't want no small fries. Tell them they better make them biggie. Yeah, you already know what we be on. We got the crown, we hold the throne. We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, coming to you live, as always, from the Fitness Market Studios North. It's been a year now. Still don't have anybody to remodel my basement so we can move the show back down there, but nevertheless, we keep the party going up here, so it's fine. I'm here tonight with my co-host. First off, it is Site Content Coordinator. I'm trying to think of a bunch podcast co-director, and whatever other cool things. I'm pretty sure he just got a date with my Alexa before the show started. It's my guy, Shawn Barber.
How's it going?
And then underneath him, giggity, with a big shiny A light right in my face, just peeking over the crown of his head like a sun. There it is. You know what? It's Higgy. Higgy, what's good, man?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Higgy buffers, y'all. If y'all have listened to we've been doing the shows for 4 seasons now, almost 4 full years, and Higgy buffers. Like if you didn't hear Shittakus, if you didn't hear word in my mouth, if you didn't hear him almost every time he opens his mouth, then you just don't know Higgy. But chat line's open, about to get to it first before we get into all the other good stuff. Underneath me is how you can support the podcast. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Underneath Higgy's chins is how you can follow the website on all the social media. And as always, on all the podcast avenues, you just search for Cardinal Sports Zone. You can find us there. Shout us out on Twitter. Make sure, as Master Yoda says, hit that like button. Y'all, look, we've been telling y'all the last couple of weeks now. We did like 4 episodes this week, which is unprecedented. It's not the norm. But we told y'all the 2 weeks before Christmas, the last 2 weeks of the year, more so, we'd be going to a limited schedule. So we'd like to know what day of the week y'all were there. I'm cool with just doing it Sundays at 7. If y'all have a better idea, if we get enough different response in the chat room, chat line, it's not chat room, this ain't AOL Instant Messenger. On the text line, if y'all are cool with Sunday, we'll leave it at Sunday, but just wanted to throw that out there for you all. Let's go before we get to the shizzo. I'll never do that again. Let's go to the text line, and there's Master Yoda as always, yo, Cardinal, Tyler Gooden, Trey Hall, what's up? What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Steve? Howdy 55, what's up, Allie? What's good, CSZ fam? What is up, Wes? Yes, man. And y'all need to stop telling me. I mean, y'all keep telling me it's fire, but man, that is our guy B-Sim that created that intro. My guy Lewis did the video part of it. We're gonna change that up. Probably during the summer, we'll put some more, some newer things on there. Sure, the Metzinger home run and the Jalen Williams dunk or Jalen Withers dunk and all that's cool, but we're gonna update it a little bit. Wes says, what's good, CSZ fam? Corey Carson says, go Cards. Go 55. Appreciate that. Yo, Goose. Yoda says, Sweet Carolina, FUK. That's that other show. That's not me. Steve says, Higgy. Higgy's in the house, Cardinal says. Trevor and Higgy made it, finally. That's yeah, Trevor. Was that from Grand Theft Auto? Was that? Yeah, I think so. Higgy, Shawn. I got a cousin that does remodeling work. Hit me up on one of the social media outlets, and we'll see. We'll get it cracking. Let's only talk football, women's basketball, women's volleyball. We will talk about those things, maybe a little bit more. Steve Franconia says Higgy trying to make us think he's bright. Lights don't count. Ariel Holt says, and the Cats go down for 6 straight. I like it. Good evening, fellas, and good evening to you too. Master Yoda, I can't agree with that sentiment. Ravens flock, no. If our dumb coach had to kick the field goals in the first half instead of throwing interceptions in the red zone with no time in the, you know what? I'm not getting into that. Corey Carson, un-effing believable. We'll hit the button.
Un-effing believable.
Don't start this stuff, Yoda, for sure. Dwayne Cross, what's good? Sunday's cool. Sunday at 7's perfect. All right, Duel, my good. Any more info on more? I absolutely have more info on all that. Ex-Louisville basketball players defending KP today. We'll get to that. Keep the music. No, we're going to keep the music. We're going to just change up the video. Uncle Larry says, welcome to Bromville. Right now, it's looking like we are heading for a collision course with our guy Carito and Uncle Larry for the most popular Twitter tournament person this year. So I'll probably just throw one vote each way so I don't have to pick. Welcome to Bromville, though, Uncle Larry says. Volleyball was amazing, said Master Yoda. All right. So absolutely all that. We got a lot to talk about today, and we will do that. I'm making sure everything is going smooth. It is. Higgy, what do you share with the? Why are you I've told you 1,000 times when we're doing the show, don't need the chat because it messes up my screens. That I'm using 3 screens right now. What did it say? Share with the whole class, clap nuts.
So it was a picture of Jeff Brohm, Steve Clarkson, Garrick McGee, Pete Natka, and Ron English all together today discussing.
That was more important than what we were talking about. Where's the disconnect button? Shawn, well, speaking of those guys, I know we talked about Jeff Brohm, and we talked a little bit about the when did we do our last show, Shawn? It was just me and you. Was that Friday or Thursday night?
Thursday.
Okay, so Thursday night. That was after the Brohm presser, correct? Okay. So thanks for none of your help with that, Shawn. Excuse me. So didn't get into it that much Thursday night. It was, we got into, love the hire and all that stuff, but the specifics of the party, it was super overwhelming. There was about 1,500 people there. It was super hot. You get there, Eric Wood's there, Chris Redmond's there, I'm there, Rich Ragland's there, Doug Beaumont's there, Jalen Harrington from the Sugar Bowl team, Jermaine Brown, Vince LaCoca. I mean, just a bunch of former players were in the house, and I'm sure I'm forgetting. Keith Tobridge and Hunter Cantwell as well. We were all there. Great atmosphere. Vince Tyree was in the house. Kenny Klein was in the house. The vibe was real chill. Coach Brohm did his press conference. Atlanta in the house. What up, Walter? Corey says the Clarksons are happy with Brohm. Love it. Yeah, the actual press conference went by, and it just you kind of, if you were there, and I saw a lot of people that watched the show. That was the most fun part for me, is because I haven't been going out that much here lately. And y'all know the story. I'm not going to rehash that, but I haven't been going out much lately. And me and Rummage were sitting there, and a bunch of people came up. Was like, man, love the show from the other night. Love the show from the other night. Y'all tell Higgy he sucks. Just simple things like that. Shout out to Redbird. We saw Gary the Redbird there. Doug Budd from Red Edge Realty and Homes for, you know what? He's not our sponsor anymore. I don't have to give him a plug. But just you all coming up and being like, hey, man, love the show. That's awesome. And that meant a lot. But the vibes were real chill. Wes Key says Pierce could very well be our next Heisman winner. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of faith in him. I know what you meant. They announced at the presser that Ron English, Brian Brohm, Garrett McGee, Chris Barclay, singular, we're going to be joining him. I don't know any. I think they're bringing the strength and conditioning coach too. I haven't really heard many more names as far as the staff. I imagine we will hear that this week at some point. Got a bowl game on Saturday at 11 a.m. in a baseball stadium.
That's your baseball stadium.
With 14 quality control coaches and 5 or 6 regular coaches. And shout out to those 5 or 6 guys that were like, you know what? We're staying behind. We're going to do the dang thing. And then we'll be out. Shout out to them. We appreciate y'all. But, yeah, and then immediate attention turned. You know, Jeff, Coach Brohm was named Thursday night. And then Saturday night, last night, there was a high school state championship game that had not only state championship implications, but national championship implications. So last night, the Bosco squad, Bosco Bros, whatever you want to call them, McLean, Williams, Moore, Pierce, just absolutely annihilated, shut out even the team that they were playing against in the championship. Doug is my boy, says Al. Yeah, he's my boy. Bosco winning the state championship, being named national championships. Look, Rito, we already shouted you out too, man. Pierce late like always. Look, y'all two came in together. What is up with that? 10 seconds apart. Only studs have the name Pierce. Just saying, Jesus Christ. Steve says, what's up with Tyler Hudson? He's not going to try another year. No, he's preparing for the NFL draft. Sorry, just drink some root beer. I try to feel important by drinking root beer because I don't drink the real stuff. Brian joining after Purdue's bowl game for sure. Louisville Cali boys look great. They did. Does JB like the Western Kentucky quarterback? We'll talk about that in a second. The Bosco Brohm squad. Yeah. And again, if you haven't voted on Twitter, our guy Rito, our guy Uncle Larry, both of them just they very, very hardcore supporters of our show. They are in the finals in their respective pods for the most interesting follow on Twitter. I don't know. It's just something that our guy Read the Room does every year. He changes the rules every season too to let less people in or more people in. I don't know. Please vote for them. Uncle Larry, vote for Rito. Those are our guys. But let's see. The funniest thing. Yeah, Chris Barclay coming home. That so far, everybody named so far has had a tie to the city, or even with the ridiculous rumors of hey, what's his name over there? Oh, Vince Morrow. Even with those ridiculous rumors, he was, all the stuff that's been said so far has had a Louisville or state of Kentucky flavor. Wes Key says the funniest thing I've seen this week is some Cincy fans falling for the same crap we fell for. Yeah, I've seen that. Dan Bartley, I'm glad Brohm's a coach. I just hope we don't place unrealistic expectations on him. I already heard Andy Sweeney say you should win 9 games by year 2. Let's slow down. How are we feeling about McGee, though? Who's McGee? I don't know who McGee is.
Garrick McGee.
Oh, I love Garrick McGee. Garrick McGee was the dude that held Lamar Jackson down while he was here. So I love that. DeAndre Moore is the only player that I was worried about not coming to us from Bosco. I can't stand Sweeney. That's y'all's opinion, not mine. Ron Davis says, sup, guys. R.L. Holt says, Aiden Robbins would look good in red and white. Look, it's not that I don't want the smoke. I'm a grown man, and I ain't got time for all these like these people you saw on Twitter today trying to tell Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lee that they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to coaching and stuff. And you're right. We don't need unrealistic expectations because that's what's got the proverbial flashlight on Kenny Payne so hard right now is we're going to win 30 games and bring in every 5-star recruit across the country. What? Yeah, Corey, just trying to get a raise off of us. What are our chances to flip the Henderson kid and Kendrick Gilbert? Shawn, I will let you. I'll let you speak on that when we get to it. And if you don't know, look it up while I'm talking. But I love Garrett McGee. He was always really nice to me, always really cool. So it is what it is. What do you? All right, Brian, I'm gonna get to that here in a second. Look, so this is what we got started under football recruiting. The Bosco boys taking care of business. Micah Carter committed. That was he was committed to Purdue previously, correct? 4-star in some, 3-star in others.
State's number 1 player.
The state's number 1 player. Brohm's trip to Cali. Talk about that. I think that was huge. Whereas before it was it was Coach Shat. He shat himself. I thought we would keep Ruben and lose more. I think, well, obviously we've lost Ruben. I think we keep more. I've been told, I asked last night, my contact up there, I was like, hey, what's what is going on? Are we still sitting pretty? And he was like, don't worry about it. So to me, I feel like that's as close to they're coming as you can get without. So I think his recruiting, I think that's paramount. Him taking the whole coaching staff to California to watch Pierce and is it Jalil or Jahil? Jahil and Moore and Aaron Williams. Yeah. So looks like we're keeping the Cali boys. I hope so, Brian. Other Brian says, what's up, CSZ gang? Mike Murphy, a.k.a. Keith Lee, says, what's up, guys? Miss Michelle, you're only 17 minutes late, but you're here, so that's all that matters. 3-star on Rivals says average honky. Yeah, but he is a 4-star other places. We will be quarterback you again, no doubt about it. No, we're not going to talk about the Ravens. We might be the same offense in A&M if Bobby gets there. True. Getting the top talent in the state is huge too. Absolutely. And Jalil. Okay. Jalil. Okay, Jack. Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't read the little bitty writing. And you know what? Here's the thing. We've always been quarterback you. It's just our last 10 years of quarterbacks have looked a little different. They've been mobile. They've been focused. There definitely have been dual threat quarterbacks, but they have been. Whereas the 20 years prior to that, it was West Coast offense passing type quarterbacks. The last 10 years, it's been about 50-50, depending on rushing the ball and passing the ball. Steve Clarkson seems very, very happy with Jeff coming out. Yep. Oh yeah. Michelle says, my bad, just waiting out the disrespect. I appreciate it. Hey, we haven't even got to the basketball yet, so it is what it is. Jeff and Kenny make me happy Card fan. Look, me too. That's all I'm going to say to that. Me too. These guys are all out there busting their butt, working hard. Leave it to Sat to go to the school where its biggest rival don't even have a football team. Tim Slinker, what's good? Yeah, making that money. And we'll talk about that in a second, Wes, because we did see that too. That is in the notes. But Brohm's trip to Cali was amazing. You could see that he pulled out all the stops. They loved him being there. All those guys up there loved him being there. Again, I was just about to talk about this too. The transfer offer, the Florida running back Naquan Wright, and Western Kentucky quarterback Austin Reed. I think that's one to watch as well. And I know that's not a secret. Stop it. Love the shots fired by Steve Clarkson. I didn't see the shots fired by Steve Clarkson, Corey. So let me know what you're talking about. We need a good receiver from the transfer portal to replace T. Huddy. what's up, 55 and crew? Not coming through too toxic tonight because of how pumped I am for football, but we got to change something on that court. No, for sure. And they're trying. I really, really, really wish like I could have these conversations in public with you all instead of over here, just so I could let you all know how hard they're all trying. What about Reed's receiver at Western? I don't know. AR-16, yes, Terry. Vince Morrow had to be probing those rumors himself. No way Louisville wanted him. Here's what I will tell you. I did hear it confirmed that he come to see Jeff Thursday morning. So I know he came to see him. He was in the city recruiting. So I don't know what, I don't know what the relation. I had a couple people ask me what the relationship was. I don't know. What kind of arm strength Clarkson have? Hard to tell from YouTube clips. I'll tell you this much. I love his confidence. I love his swagger. He looked a lot better last night in the championship game than I've seen him the other times I've got to watch him. He shot he just a random 46-yard teardrop touchdown to DeAndre Moore right in front of Jeff Brohm. That was classic. I think he's got it. I really do. It's just been hard for me to tell. He posted a pic of Pierce and Brohm and said, "That's how you recruit a player." Oh, I did see that. Yeah. Okay. So I did reach out to Steve Clarkson. I congratulated him and the program on winning the championship. And as I said, hey, just simply put, anything I can let them know on the show tonight? And he says, "See y'all next week." And then says they're trying to set up a visit this week. Then then Pierce tweeted something out along the lines of,
I'm coming
to see y'all this week, or guess where I'm going to be at this week. And then last week on Instagram, Instagram Live, he was talking to Owens and he was asking Owens, "Hey, are you coming to campus next week when me and the rest of the guys come?" So it was kind of one of those things where everybody kind of told on themselves. Goose, let's go. Yeah. So the Wasabi Bowl Saturday at 11 a.m. followed by the hunt for win number 1. Hopefully we have it by then. But if we don't, because we'll play a game before that.
Western Wednesday.
Yep. Higgy, I did not point to you to talk yet. You didn't raise your hand. I didn't call on. That's later in the show, dude. So the game they will overlap. And I know mostly everybody's going to watch the football. So maybe if y'all don't watch, we'll win. I don't know. But 11 a.m. is the Wasabi Bowl at Fenway Park. 2 p.m. is the Florida A&M game. And yeah, so before I went to bed, I did ask. I said, "Hey, man, so what's?" And this was this was one of my other contacts out at Bosco. I was like, "Man, what's the word? Is there anything to worry about?" And he said, "We're good to go. Don't worry." So I'm not worried anymore about the recruits. It is what it is. Let's see. What's up? Bill.
My brother.
You think we will get Elliot Cadeau? No. I think that it has been very widely known that Syracuse is going to land him with that NIL deal they offered him. JK, he went to Lexington today to shoot the women's basketball game. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Be nice to Higgy. That's my boy, says Greg. Oh, Greg. Look, I know your other boy, and I'm going to give it to both of them because you know what? Who would have known Higgy would be the calm child that you had? Babu says Clark did a beautiful sideline over-the-shoulder pass at the wide receiver drop last night. I'm just kidding. I like all your kids. Heard there was a starting offensive lineman from Purdue in the transfer portal. That'd be one to watch. Tom says, "That's why I have 2 TVs in the basement. I'll be watching football and basketball at the same time." Way to go. I have 3 in the basement that I haven't got to walk down into because of the fear of black mold or asbestos or Higgy's. Higgy used to bring like full meals to the podcast, and instead of putting them in the garbage upstairs, he would leave them downstairs in the basement. And yes, he did leave food from time to time. Like he wouldn't lick. Like he'd bring some of the stinkiest stuff and then leave the containers down in the basement. Yoda said the Bosco kids are studs. Bill Jones says Higgy, my Bullet East alum. Don't be nice to him. Scuba Steve says, but sad is telling folks we don't have any NIL. What a low thing to do. James Gartland says, what up, Cardination? Yoda said the writer said that other coaches say that team is like a college. It is, for sure. How many scholarships do we have available now in football? Shawn, how many do we have?
I do not know off the top
Look it up.
of my head.
Rito asked me that last night. See if you can find it anywhere. Not Higgy. Oh, you can't do it because you're on. Higgy, look up how many. He asked me last night, and I fell asleep watching the Bosco game or listening to the Bosco game. Mantis Mike, thank you, Cincinnati. I mean, I want to donate anything that y'all give me to them as a thank you for. I'm just kidding. I'm not giving Cincinnati nothing. I've hated them my whole life. Just taking this problem off our hands and putting us in a better situation. Brohm is back. I had Nick Valvano, bless his heart, love him, awesome. I had him he'd done a couple remixes on Wednesday of some songs that I called in and suggested to him. And Friday night I was on Friday afternoon I was on the treadmill, and I thought of one, and it was a song by B2K called Bump Bump Bump, but I told him to put Brohm Brohm Brohm. And he sent it to me like 5 minutes before the show came on tonight. Now, I couldn't get it to format to my mixer, so I wasn't able to play it for y'all, but it was hilarious. So shout out to him. Always, Nikki V, he takes a lot of guff, but and they joke with, like, that's just a joking situation. They joke around with him on the show, but always willing to help me out in any way possible. Met him when we were on the air Saturday mornings on 93.9. And built that friendship ever since. Plus, he likes wrestling, so he's an okay guy. I'm calling it now. Next Saturday against Florida A&M, we're going to party like it's 2013. Yes. Walter says, cheers to Louisville Volleyball Final Four, bound again. Absolutely. So, you know what? Let's talk about, let's get basketball out of the way, because I do have a nugget for y'all there, too, that I want to share with you all. Another bad loss against Florida State. There's just no other way to put it. These kids just look like they are not getting it. I don't know how else to put it. I see a lot of people putting the blame on Kenny and Nolan and them, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. But then I've been telling y'all this for like 3-4 weeks now, that it takes a while for coaches to come in and turn the program around, knowing what's been going on, knowing what was left. Well, we have. You can't tell me we don't have enough good players. They're here. They were here last year. How many games did we win last? Didn't we go? Weren't we under 500 last year?
We only had 13 wins.
Okay, so what made y'all think that they were going to be able to come in and polish all the turds? No, I'm just kidding. They're not turds. It's just they need to be given a little bit more understanding. I know Kenny came out the other day talking about real fans, and everybody took it the exact wrong way. He was just saying he wanted fans. So if you took offense to it, then he probably was talking about you, because what he said was he wanted the real fans, the one that wanted to climb over walls for him, bust through the walls, support them through thick and thin, and then everybody got butthurt about it, and that's where that ended up. So let's get back to, they're trying. The coaches are trying. They're not going to give up on these kids like the last coach did. KP will get a few seasons. I heard that directly from, I overheard that Thursday night at the presser, that he's going to get 2 seasons, and I've told y'all that before. One of the other coaches has told me that he's going to get 2 seasons to right the ship. So if you're one of those fire him now guys or girls, I'm just warning you, you're just going to be wasting your breath. Just be upset and support the team, or don't watch until he turns it around. I mean, we have had way worse seasons in football and still supported the football team. We had bad years in basketball, and a lot of you all that are now, not everybody, but a majority of the people that are complaining about the basketball win-loss record don't remember the end of Denny's career, or we had a couple of bad seasons. We've had one bad season. We've had one 10-game stretch that was horrible. And last year, my God, how many did we lose in a row last year, Shawn?
Oh God, I can't even remember. It was
Double digits. I feel.
It was like something crazy.
Something crazy. So none of them want to, point blank, none of them want to be 0-9. The players, the coaches, that's where we'll leave that. Again, we need to calm down as a fan base. We have regular people telling Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lee that their opinions on KP are wrong. Imagine telling an NBA player that their opinion is wrong when you've never even made a team, let alone started. It's just ridiculous. Again, the hunt for win number 1 will continue Wednesday at 9 p.m. versus Western Kentucky at the Yum on ESPN2, and FAMU Saturday at 2 p.m. on the regional sports networks. Listen, I told y'all I had a little scoop, and nothing groundbreaking. But right now, Louisville basketball, I can tell you, are in Washington, D.C., recruiting the 2022 National High School Hoops Festival. I asked Dalton to look that up and tell me who are some kids that we could be, because I did not ask who we were looking at, because I don't want to ask too many questions and then not getting answers. He said that we could be looking at power forward. These are 2024 kids. Power forward Donnie Freeman from St. John's. I don't St. John's High, I guess. Darren Harris from Paul. That's the same program VJ King came from, I believe. He's a Duke commit right now. His teammate, small forward Isaiah Abraham. Anthony Gilks from Patrick. Okay. Point guard Daquan Davis from St. John's. Apparently, there's only 4 teams. I don't know about. And then center Patrick Ngangaba the second from Paul the fourth. So lots of name brand teams there. Just beg you all to give these guys. Again, I wish I could sit y'all down in front of me, person to person, explain to y'all what was going on. I can't. They're not going to do it. They're too professional. And the thing about it is they're taking all this criticism, and all they would do is speak out and let people know what was going on. But they can't, because it could hurt the kids' feelings and make them shut down anymore. And plus, they should not be telling people their business anyway. So Michelle says, off topic, but not for real. Read a Facebook post saying how trash Haley Van Lith is, and people were actually agreeing. Are our fans that damaged? It depends. Were they saying her game was trash, or were they saying she was trash because of all the expletives she was? And again, we all do it when we're playing sports for the most part. Because I only saw people criticizing her for using foul language on the court, which, again, if you're playing in front of kids, you should not be using that kind of language. So I don't know. Rito with a great public service announcement. Stop writing commits or decommits tweets about Satterfield. We sound like bitter exes. Let it go, y'all. I agree. We'll talk about volleyball in a second. Curry looked a little better. No. 13 wins last year. Dan Bartley, hard to believe the leftovers from a bad team weren't exactly setting the world on fire. And it wasn't even the bottom. I heard this also. Like they believe if we could have kept the ones that left and let go of the ones we kept, that this would be an entirely different situation. But the ones that left didn't want to work hard. So, so it's like, what do you do? That's 13 more than this year. Stop it, Steve. Allie says, I was offended I couldn't find a post-loss press conference. Oh, it's on YouTube. Me and Shawn, we watched it, right? Watched it. They were grown old A fans arguing with 21-year-old L. Ellis on midnight. So maybe idiots. Yo, this is a minute. It's crazy. Aaron says, sorry I'm late. Jim was tiring. I appreciate y'all being here. Look, remind me for the end of the show. Higgy, my last words are going to be about the gym, okay? Put a pin in that. Bebu says, I believe in football. We have 19 seniors and 3 leaving for the NFL and about 4 transfers, so we should have 26 openings. What basketball recruits are coming in? I haven't been told of any visits that were set. I know they are out. They were out Thursday night recruiting. They were out today all day long recruiting, so I don't know. KP will get another year no matter what. You're right, Steve. That's what I was saying earlier. So Greg says, I don't mind this year being trash basketball, but to be honest, was sold on him being able to bring in talent like we used to. I'm on this train whether it's on the rails or not. We've not landed any studs. And Greg, Jesus, Allie remembers Brandon Bender. Greg, here's what I'll say to you. The IARP did not levy us a postseason ban, in theory. But by waiting until everybody had already signed and committed, they banned us from being able to recruit this year. They banned us from getting any good players. I've told y'all multiple times the stories about the last few kids in. There's a kid that's calling us up on the phone now that was like, I thought y'all were getting a postseason ban, and we're like, we tried to tell you we couldn't promise you that or not. He's like, well, I want to come to Louisville. And he's a 5-star guy playing on another team wanting to come to Louisville because he wanted to be here in the first place, but people were telling him we were going to get banned. Shut up, Matthew. Brian says Kip Stone, Tremaine Wingfield, that team was bad. Yes. There's been a look, and I love Marcus Maben to death. That's my man, 100 grand. He's the one that taught me how to hustle on campus and get some stuff for discounted prices at the restaurants. Not stealing or anything, just like switching price tags and stuff. Nothing major. I'm just kidding. But he had 2 horrible teams. Like he had a 12 and a 13 win team. And actually, I don't know the exact record, but if you add up all 4 of his years, he's like 81 and 81 for his career. It's not that much. Maybe it is. I just remember me looking it up one day, and it was like a 500 record. But he had 2 seasons where we were, I want to say it was freshman and junior. I don't know that to be for sure. And I love Marcus, and I love Tony Williams, and I love all those guys that were on those teams. They had good talent, but they just couldn't put it together. And those 2 guys are 2 of them that are speaking out on these kids' behalf. Trevor, I'm not going to tell you. Stop sending me messages. I'm not a message board. You're off the hook now, Higgy. Trevor's sending me DMs now. I'm not telling. Listen, here's the way I tell the people on my team at CSZ. I have a lot of knowledge that nobody else knows about, and that's not a flex. That's just me building relationships my whole life in the city of Louisville. If you want some information that nobody else has, you build the relationships. I'll share my info with y'all in person, but I'm never going to write nothing down to where it can be traced. Stupid do you think I am? Louisville's always been a microwave fan base instead of letting the cake bake. Lost 15 out of the last 18. We supported the football team when we got free tickets at the Dairy Queen with our Blizzards. Michelle, when we went to Convenient, and if you bought $10 worth of groceries, they gave you 4 tickets. And you didn't even take them because you already had your 4 tickets from perfect attendance at school that week.
God, I remember that.
It was so bad, and we've always stood by. Here's what I said to Shawn the other day, and I'll say it to everybody. This is something I will say to everybody. And you all can tell me, yeah, you're onto something. Or, nah, Jeremy, you're just trying to blame them for everything, which is, it could be true. I feel like our fan base, the very first story I wrote for our website 11 years ago, gosh, CSZ birthday's coming up. What are you getting me for my birthday, Shawn?
I don't know yet. I'll have to.
I was gonna say my presents.
I want a receipt. I want a refund. The name of the story is called We Need to Do Better. And that was something our guy Wes, that was one of his sayings. Go back and read it. Great piece. I wrote it. It was amazing. And I talked about how our fan base was starting to tilt towards the blue side. And I think I figured out why, Shawn. I think it's all these stupid house-divided households where the dad's a Kentucky fan, The mom's a Louisville fan, and the kids can act like jack-ins like the dad because he's the dad. And the moms are like, oh, he doesn't really mean it. That's just the way they know. So then the Louisville fans, they start acting like they're Kentucky dads. And that's the only thing I can think of. Hopefully there's stuff going on behind the scenes recruiting wise. Greg, I'll tell you, I've already said this before. I'll say it again. We're looking at there's a couple of high caliber transfers that have already reached out to us. There's a couple of kids that we may be scouting at the NBA Academy that I'm very, very excited about. There's a couple of 24 reclasses. Again, I'm very excited about. And then the high level transfers that want to come here to play. Look, this class is not going to be. It's not going to blow you away for sure, but this class will. The next class coming up will be. I mean, you should be blown away. You got Caleb Glenn, who's turning into an absolute monster. He already was one. Curtis Williams Jr. You're going to have about 4 or 5 grad transfers or regular transfers, and they're going to sprinkle in a little bit of this and that. We're going to have a way better roster next year than we had this year. That's all I'll say. KP will get it right. Sucks to lose, and I wanted him and still do for sure. Steve, yes, we do need guards, but he you know, we're just going to rehash everything tonight, and it's okay. He brought in, people said he don't have any guards. He brought in, the next week, he brought in Hersey, brought in Fabio, announced that his son was going to be playing, and then you hear people complain, well, why is he playing over the other two? Well, because he's doing what he's supposed to during the school week, and Fabio may or may not be, Devin may or may not be, Hersey may or may not be, all the kids may or may not be doing what they're supposed to. It's hard to discipline kids when everybody's, acting a daggone full. Yeah, Scuba Steve says the transfer portal will be so important for next year. Raymond Riggle, my guy Ray says this team seems to have more energy when Fabio's running the point. KP needs at least 3 years to right this ship. Look, I'm glad there's people that are thinking that way, because this was, if y'all don't know what kind of a mess this was, we had players fighting over food in the ACC championship tournament dinner hall. Like, we had a coach that left them in the middle of the season, and they don't want to trust the new staff. That's not Kenny's fault. That's not. You can call me an apologist if you want to, but I know Kenny. I know Nolan. I know the type of people they are. I know how much love they have for this program. Every time I talk to either one of them, you can hear the pain and agony in their voice, and it always ends up with, we love these kids, and we're gonna try to get the best out of them. So that's what they're gonna do. All y'all, this year we need guards. Future years we need everything, says Goose for sure. That's messed up. Yeah, Yoda, it was. We lost the best players from last year's team. Yeah. Chris Wolf. Now, I think everybody can agree he's one of our more aggressive fans of the show, and I don't mind that. It is what it is. Him and Sam think an awful lot alike. Let's put it that way. Chris Wolf says, I think the problem people have is that although it's a rebuilding year or whatever, we do not see any effort out of KP the whole summer. The portal wasn't utilized and there's no recruiting progress. Okay, so let's address each of those 3 things. First off, KP busted his butt the whole summer. Just because y'all don't see it don't mean it's not happening. I wish KP was more of a Deion Sanders type coach where he bragged about what he was doing. He told y'all where he was out recruiting, but he's just not. The portal was not utilized because every kid that was worth the piss that we brought in here asked us to promise that we would be playing, that we would not have a ban this year, and we were honest with them and told them we cannot promise them that. And no recruiting progress. We just got up out from underneath this cloud 2 weeks ago, and from what I'm hearing, there's great progress being made. So Michelle says, wait, really? People are calling 18 to 21-year-olds names, but mad at HBL for saying cuss words? Can't make this stuff up. Maybe so. Brandon says, even if we won 3 or 4 games so far this year, fans will be complaining. Bottom line, this is a sub-stage roster, constructed poorly, and they failed 3 coaches. Sub-average, yeah. Yeah. Chris. He explained in 2 press conferences why he couldn't get the recruits. It's like nobody listens to him. That's one thing I will say that aggravates me. A lot of the stuff that people complain about, and again, I'm not going to tell you how to fan. I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't say. If basketball has such a pull on your life that you're cussing out NBA players and college players and coaches, then maybe you should step back from sports for a while. But be whatever kind of fan you want to be. I'm cool with that. That you're right, but stop being blind and deaf. He has explained everything, and y'all just act like he ain't said nothing. Brandon says, if you look over the Chris Mack era, there is a pattern of players being extremely mentally weak and wilting under pressure. I believe that is what KP is trying to fix. Brandon, if I had a slot machine, I would say ding, 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 ding. I don't, but that's what I would say. Average honky. It's going to be interesting when Rutherford comes on because I think he disagrees with a few things he said that I say about basketball. Yeah, I know he does, and that's fine. Like, because I can have a constructive conversation with people, so it is what it is. We've lost 24 out of the last 27 games, including this year. Don't bring that up. Brandon Lucas says Chris Mack quit on the team. His players were a reflection of him, and this is what KP is trying to cleanse, for sure. Chris Wolf says, I'll listen. Trust me, I'll listen to the excuses game in and game out. I want us to be good, and I want him to be the guy, but this isn't getting it done. They're going to start giving away tickets at this rate. Matt says, we were told all summer getting guards wasn't important. I didn't hear that, Matt. So I can't speak on that. Imagine the stuff we don't know about. There's so much going on behind the scenes with the individual players that I have no clue about. Think maybe it was the same team as Marcus. Did you give Shawn a raise because it looks like he got an upgrade on the internet? No, I didn't, and I won't. Allie says, I like Basili. 3 nice assists. First one to Wheeler, 2 more to Curry. Yeah, he can get. Hey, I'm all for Fabio playing more, but the problem is he's not doing what he's supposed to off the court, so it's hard for KP to be like, oh, okay, don't handle your off the court responsibilities with us. Let me reward you. That's not how things work. There's a lot we don't know about. There was a freaking mutiny led by a player last year. Brandon, I can tell you that's not true. Malik didn't actually. I'm not going to get into that. That was not a Malik issue. That was one of the assistant coaches that started all that crap last year. But I'll agree. I've never heard of that happening anywhere else either. Brian Davis says, old Cardinal Stadium days with tickets from Convenient. Brandon says, not hating on Malik, think things were really bad to lead to that. Look, coaches, other players were picking with Malik. Jeez. Greg says he's so old, he got football tickets from Druthers when it used to be Burger Queen. Look, I remember Burger Queen very, very vaguely. And you know what? I think one of the once it gets to the spring, I'm gonna take one of my weekends. There's one Druthers left, and it's in Campbellsville, Kentucky. I'm gonna go get me some of those good old biscuits and gravy. Fred Chandler says better internet should be your gift. Michelle says if you recruit a guy thinking it's a done deal, then another school comes saying don't go to Louisville, they're getting a ban. Yeah, that's exactly what has happened. I think again, Michelle, great points. Fabio's going to be a problem, potentials through the roof. I agree. All right, now we're talking about food. Allie Jack says Druthers had a great double cheeseburger, but Sandy's Great Scott was the best burger ever. I don't know what that is. I remember back in the day, Louisville would bribe people to come out to games. That was Rick Pitino with the little rally burger combo tokens. Yeah, Fabio's gonna be a problem for real. I remember Druthers and Convenient decided to show my hey, look, we're all young as far as I'm concerned. I think people are worried because we flamed out on transfers last go around. Understand it, but there was a reason we flamed out. We didn't. Oh, he missed on these guys. No, there were 2 kinds of guys he went after last year. Ones that gave him. Hey, what the hell are you doing?
I need to stand up for a second. My legs are getting tired.
Oh, God.
Is this dude for real? He's like the Higgy of the chat. Oh, wait a minute. He's the Higgy of the video. It was kids that came in here and just left a bad taste in his mouth. And there were the kids that wanted to promise that we weren't going to get a ban. We just couldn't do that. People don't think Nolan Smith, Danny Manning, and KP won't be pulling up talent the coming years. They're not paying attention. I'm telling y'all. Look, if I was sitting in here worried, everybody, look, I love Steve Rummage. That's my guy. Known him for 20 years. He always goes hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So you don't never know what to think as far as he's concerned. I only get hot when it's time to get hot. And right now, I'm not even a little bit worried. We could start out 0 forever. And I know what they're working on behind the scenes. And they're not going to tell. That's not going to be public knowledge. There's just no way to do that and keep the integrity of the program, the coaches, and the kids. Okay, we're talking about food again. I like the Druthers fish sandwich. Not bad. Yoda facts from our guy Cardinal. How many guys do you think will stay from this year's team? 3, maybe 4. Oh, Uncle Larry says, congratulations to Brendan McKay. You got married yesterday. Congratulations, buddy. Chris says, I hope no one's got a feeling of entitlement next year. You'll earn, learn, or burn. Bubba Ray says, oh, God, Higgy. ECB says, I'm impatient like everyone, but, man, we got to give the staff some room to build their program in their likeness, not yours or mine. I want success yesterday, but that ain't happening. So grow up. Look, that's the best way. That's probably one of the best comments I've seen on this. That's you think I'm, and I get this on Twitter all the time, you're a clown for accepting this mediocrity. No, I've been around football programs. I've been around basketball programs. I have either known somebody on the Louisville basketball roster, covered Louisville basketball, or worked up there every year since 1992. Since I was a kid, I've always been tall. None of those kids, no matter how good or bad, you think Jared Swapshire, that's the one I get told the most, oh, Jared Swapshire sucked. Do you know that when I was working up there, I could go up there at any time during the night, and that kid was sleeping in his car at the young practice facility. He would go work out for an hour, get back in the car. It'd be all funky and foggy, but that dude ate and slept in the gym. Taekwon Dean and Francisco Garcia ate and slept basketball. Like, none of these kids, I don't want us to be 0-9. The kids don't want to be 0-9. The coaches don't. So I'm willing to give them their time. And yet you're passionate, Chris. And that's why, like, initially when you first came at me and everybody was like, man, kick him out of here. That's not the type of dude I am. I'm not going to just kick people out. I want to hear where they're coming from. And I feel like, Chris, you're the type of person that I can talk to. We may not see eye to eye, but I can tell you how I feel. You can tell me how I feel. We can shake hands and go our separate way. Bubba thinks Shawn's trying to make out with his phone. Michelle, yes, he did get a late start. Ransdale family. Fabio's got good energy. Would like to see him get more clock. I'd like for him to do what he's supposed to off the court so he can get more clock. Allie says, I sense tension with El and Fabio, but yes, more time for Fabio if he's corrected the classroom issues. I'll take free tickets to the Yum. Cardinal says, he could have brought in transfers, not the best guys. His target pool was way too thin. He tried. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to convince you, Brennan, and I'm not gonna try to. He did his best to get everybody he could, and it was either negative recruitment from other teams or they wanted promises that we just couldn't tell them. Oh, Tyler says he lives in Campbellsville with the Druthers, and it's still cheap and still fire. Let's go, Kevin Cantrell. Bring Rick home. Yeah, if he wants to be a special assistant to the head coach, maybe. Cardon says road trip. Don, I don't remember if you told me or not. Did you ever get to try those Jeff's Donut, the Tiger Tails I was telling you about from Jeff's Donuts? Those are fire. I think the one thing most fans are pissed off about is the lack of effort from most of the players. No excuse not to give effort. Scuba Steve, that's true, but like what are the coaches going to do? Hey, you all have to try harder. Then they bench them and bring in the backups, and they're like, why is Zan Payne in the game so early? Why are they like he can't do anything right. God, please, if U of L football has a bunch of recruits next weekend, don't take them to the basketball game. Seeing the Yum Center with 3,000 is just depressing. Well, fill the arena. That's all I can say. Because maybe they won't. I don't know what the itinerary is. James says, "Stay positive, Card Nation. It will take time to get back to where we want, but where we all want our team to be. Quit complaining when we're down. Just stay strong and let time heal this losing streak." Steve says Higgy is ready to leave. He can leave at any time. Jeremy is now drinking because Higgy is back on. Yes. Chris Wolf says, "I love Higgington." To leave. Walter says, "I grew up in Middletown where Burger King was a spot for the games." Look, I'm not going to say my age, but like Burger Queen left the area probably about a year or two after I was able to read and form shapes and stuff like that. Cardinal wants to know, Higgy, where did you get that fire shirt?
What, this one?
Yes,
I got it from 502 Originals.
Kent and Awning on Main Street. No, I'm just kidding. Where'd you get it from, buddy?
502 Originals when they were still open in St. Matthews Mall.
All right. Greg said, "Didn't mean to steal the feed about druthers." This is you're old. Jeremy says, "Bubba Ray, no, your mama used to be the answer to everything for me, but since I lost my dad, not to bring that up, I don't do the your mom, your dad stuff no more, because if somebody, even if they're joking, they said your daddy to me, I probably just smack the piss out of them. So I don't do that anymore. So Bubba, your wife, how about that? Oh, that's probably still too. I probably shouldn't say that. Scuba Steve said I would take Jared on this year's team. Yeah. Maestro C says, "I have two Smurf turd friends that said they'd still rather have KP than Cal, even though we're winless. They know what we have. Speaks volumes. If a player didn't lead a team mutiny, but the coaching staff at the time, that's even worse." Yeah, look, Brandon, I don't know if you remember, but we actually put all that out here on CardinalSportsZone.com. We had a CSZ podcast back in January where we just blew everything up. We told everything that was going on with the coaching staff, everything that was going on with the players. We had players, parents, coaches calling me up, texting me saying, "Hey, it's not good and it's going to get worse. Can you talk a little bit about it?" That episode got over 1 million listens. We weren't doing this yet. Brohm is back. Back again. Tell your friend. So we blew all that up. So I would like to think, just as much as we thank Cincinnati for taking Satterfield out and giving us Brohm, I think you all owe me a huge debt of gratitude for getting Chris Mack TF out of here. Because a week later, he was announcing that he was gone. So, but no, not sure, says Cards folding. Okay. Keep Rick at Iona. Hashtag keep Rick at Iona, Michelle says. All right, you got the Tiger Tails. Amazing. I can only have like one of those a month or I'm not going to lose any weight whatsoever. Chris says, "Funny how a first-year staff knows when our players have classroom issues, but an established staff doesn't know when a player isn't eligible." Cheer. Smurf turds. Uncle Larry says, "I'm a Hardee's old man here. They still have Hardee's around here." Cardon says, "Thank you, Higgy." Bubba says, "No, the one in your dresser." Shout out B Sim and 502 Originals. I don't know if I'm allowed to shout out 502 Originals because I have so many people that I work with that do stuff like that. But shout out to B Sim for sure. Kevin Lloyd said, "Somebody did that to me a month after my dad passed. Almost lost it on him." Cecil says, "Louisville fans are asking Jeff Goodman, do you believe it would be reasonable to move on to another coach?" And he says they shouldn't. He needs to get one more year for sure. I'll take VJ King right about now. Stop it, Chris. Steve says, "And how did UK not have to forfeit wins using an ineligible player, but we lose a banner in a game for using them?" Yeah, Brandon, Higgy, do me a favor. Go back and see which episode that was. Or we just blew up the whole spot. Aaron says Pierce will be so good. He's so good at moving in the pocket and delivering accurate throws. I'm super excited. Chris says, "Scuba Steve, you've asked the $10 million question. Is there point spread for the bowl game? Oh, let me check on that. That's a great question. Shawn, did you find any of the things I asked you for earlier? Or have you just been sitting there playing pocket pool?
Me? I can't do that. I'm on my phone.
Oh, that's right.
I was going to say, I looked up the scholarship question you had earlier,
Oh,
and it's 28 with the scholarship question.
There's no spread on here. I imagine we probably should have got spreads this morning, though. That's when the Circa Sports always does it, is at 2:00 on Sunday. Right now, the ESPN FPI indicator gives us a 55% chance, yay, of winning the game. So
I was going to say, according to DraftKings, it shows Louisville by -3.
Louisville -3. Okay, let's see.
I cannot, Bubba. I cannot.
Oh, there we go. I'm glad you mentioned something. Show all episode. January the 16th, 2022. 1.19 million listens. The name of the podcast was Pitiful, Locker Room Dysfunction. And the description's on it wrong. So, Shawn, you're fired. I think I probably did that. But all right, let's catch up. Do we get that Reed guy for football? Who's Reed? Who is that? Do you know?
Austin Reed.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a good chance. I don't really know. Listen, Brohm was just named coach 3 days ago, and there's been a weekend here, so there's a lot of stuff that I don't know yet. I'm giving y'all stuff as I find it out. Bubba Ray says, can't stream and look up things, Shawn. No, he can't. What's good, Carnation? What's up? What's up, Hillamore? Is Shawn with Nextel? No, he is with AirTouch himself. Scuba C says these bowls outside the playoffs have been hard to predict with all the players opting out. That's for sure. Aaron Walker, how do you feel about the bowl game results? JK Louisville -3. I think we're going to get the win. I mean, I think our guys are hungry. They're kind of upset the way JK says that Bovada actually has Louisville at -1 with an over-under of 43. Thank you, JK. Brandon says if Louisville loses to Cincy in the bowl game, are UC fans going to be happy? Oh, yeah, they're going to be nuts, unrealistically nuts. Steve says, do you think Malik will go in the first round of the NFL draft? I don't want to say what I want to say. So the UK over Western didn't count, so neither would have a U of L win either. Are we right? Man. But back to you, Aaron. How do you feel about play? I think we're going to get the W. I really do. Our defense, the majority of the defense will be playing. I think Ketrell Clark's the only one I've heard of that's not playing. Ben Perry coming back, huge news. Bub, that's true. That's why I think we're going to win the game. They're going to use what happened as motivation. Chris says, do we take and give Sat one more loss and make him? No, because this won't go against him regardless. Okay, let's get back to the show. Look, I love it. Some people are like, man, you don't never get to Timothy Markwell, my guy Timothy. Great pod tonight, as always, almost to the point to where I think I might need to delete Twitter until basketball season's over. So tired of these people that have no clue bashing the staff. Look, I'm with you. I mean, I'm never gonna delete Twitter, but my thing is this. For the last couple of days, I've switched to only looking at DMs, and I've been a much, much happier man. Read somewhere Ben Perry was back, but wasn't. He is playing in the bowl game. I released the depth chart, I think on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, and Ben Perry was on there, and people were like, why? He was in the transfer portal. How's he going to play in the game? And then Friday he came out and said he was returning, or maybe it was Saturday. So he is playing. He is on the roster. He is back. They better enjoy if they do beat us. We got Brohm, baby. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not even excited about this bowl game. It's Michelle. Look, if I said that, then I'd be doing what the haters are doing about the basketball game. So I don't want to do that. But an 11 a.m. bowl game at the site of a baseball stadium, when you've got the basketball team about to take their first or second W of the year, I'm gonna watch it because I have a lot of friends on the staff. I've made acquaintances with the players' parents just from the years of them being here. I'm going to support the team, and I know you're not saying that you're not, but I'm excited. I want to get it done. We've been winning the last 6 games. I want to win this game. Brandon wants to know, is the keg of nails at stake since it's a bowl game? I've seen them reference the keg of nails. I don't think it is. Bubba Ray says I'm still on a Brohm high. I'm actually disappointed that I did not see Bubba Ray at the press. Like, I've seen him at a lot of stuff. I didn't see him there. I didn't see Shawn there. There's a lot of people I'm disappointed in, but there are a lot of our listeners that were there, and we appreciate that. Brian says our guys will play their hearts out. Losing coach the sense. Yeah, for sure. The way his basketball going with I wish the spring game was next week. The mute button on Twitter is your friend. Yeah, I don't even want to look at half the stuff. I want to stay in a good head frame, mind space, whatever you call it. Walter says, will any of JB's new coaches help in the bowl game? I don't believe so. Love seeing Brohm with Pierce says, Bubba the midget, short person, sorry. Aaron says, will there be a big I think so. I'm going to reach out. Like every week when y'all ask me questions, I reach out immediately. Higgy, send me. I've told you not to send me stuff. Send me a DM right now that says text Pete for visitor list. Okay. I believe there is a visit that week, though. Uncle Larry says, should Dion wear a hoodie or a suit on the sideline Saturday? He has to tell him what he'd rather see. Also, send me a message that says text Dion because I want to talk to him too. Had to work with. Oh, you didn't have nothing. Greg, yeah, I believe all of the Bosco kids are going to be early enrollees. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that they were all going to jump in right away. Chris says, shout out to the women over the Smurfettes. Of course, I always support. Look, even when I don't like a coach, I always support. Listen, out of everybody on Twitter, Facebook, America, I would never ever question you because you've been one of the most real from day one, no matter what's going on. If we were running up a mountain of gold, you'd be there picking up every coin. If we were swimming down a river of poop, you'd be taking you have your hair up and have some goggles or something protecting your face. But me and you'd be there swimming up that stream right next to each other. I don't know why I said poop. Are we going after Aiden Robbins and bring him home? Hey, actually, also, Higgy, send me a DM that says, text court about Aiden. I wanted to be there. I'm sorry, Bubba. Love to see Dion go 1-0. Yeah, I want to find out if he's going to stick with the team. So that's one of the updates we'll have next Sunday for you. Looking forward to seeing you guys at Labor Day. For sure. I can't wait. Listen, if y'all see me, nobody did this at the Brohm party like I asked you to. Introduce yourself. Just saying, man, I love the show the other day. Don't tell me who in the heck y'all are. I don't know. So be like, hey, Jeremy, this is Allie Jack. Hey, Jeremy, this is, yeah, Michelle, sorry. This is Brian McGlasson. Is Jamari Johnson still committed? He got an offer from Bama last month. I haven't heard either. Think we get either of the Carters in 24. Oh, Andrew's one of my favorite people, too, because he has some of the best questions. Higgy.
Yeah?
DM me a message that says, text Nolan about the Carters.
Okay, that's 4 people you want me to tell you to text so far.
Yes, do what you're told. Greg says,
I thought you had Alexa right there.
I'm about to have a foot up your ass right now. Any chance Court Dennison comes home? Look, there's always a chance. The thing is that he's got to get that. He's got to get things cleared up. And I know that he wasn't in the wrong. That girl's going to have to come out and say, hey, my husband made me trash court, and that's why he's gone. Chris says, I want to meet you 55. We could probably talk for hours over all athletics. Just absolutely. Hi, I'm Uncle Larry. Look, I saw you. Oh, Uncle Larry was in the house the other day, too. I saw him. Like, Uncle Larry's the GOAT, man. Higgy is the new Siri. Yeah, except for his name is Slurry. Yes, my DMs are full already. Higgy needs to do something. I love Court. Would love to see him again. Yo, yo, yo. We're in the house. Cool guy. Done. My guy. Andrew says, I'm going to play Carter 5. We'll be doing celebration there. Tough. I love him. Is Brian going to serve as the OC and quarterback coach? I would assume so. I think that's what he did at Purdue. Don't quote me on that. I don't know yet. Maestro says, Higgy, text me the number to 911. He'd probably have some problems with that. Where's Brother Joe? Joey, so with us doing this on Sunday night, reason we did it 2 nights is because Thursday nights we could have a certain group of the people here, and on Sunday nights the other half of the people could be here. So on Sunday nights my brother's at work, so he couldn't be here tonight. Kevin says he'll introduce himself if he ever runs into you. If you ever run into me, you're probably going to bounce off and hit the ground. Unk was all over the presser coverage because Unk is an attention. That's just, he is an attention. Sorry, Unk, but it's the truth. Let's get into rapid fire. I'll recap the questions. We'll wrap this up and get out of here. Jesus, never realized how long we get going. Y'all ask so many questions. I appreciate it. I love it. So let's do it. What nights are Higgy unavailable? Do it those days.
The nights I'm not at Whataburger, Bubba.
Oh, so never. I miss all the background changes. Yeah, he does have some fire. He does have some fire background. Let's talk a little bit about the volleyball team too. They move on to face Pittsburgh in their second straight Final Four. The Cards are 1-1 versus Pitt this season. Smacked them around here at home. Went up to Pitt. I always have trouble with them. I believe they lost to them at Pitt last year too. While we were recording, went 5 sets that game too.
No, we won because we were undefeated last year and going into the tournament.
Oh, that's right. It was the year. Okay, I'm thinking about the year before. Shut up, Shawn. Nobody asked you to. Dang, people are harsh on poor Higgy. He asks for it. Not change subject, but when is Roman Reigns going to lose? Whenever he wants to. Scuba Steve, I'm thankful for that. Higgy is gone more than he is here. I'm thankful that. Gosh, man, I think they're just piling on Higgy. Trust me, that's not a short hill to climb. Final Four. So yeah. So then on the other side, you got the number 1 team in the country, Texas, versus San Diego in the Final Four, right? And
yes.
we dispatched San Diego 3-0, I believe, at home earlier in the season. So as always, Louisville. It just seems like ever since DBK got here, this program has went from top tier to elite status, and they're just knocking everybody out. Even the game. Look, Oregon was the hottest team in the NCAA tournament this year, and they went up on us yesterday 2-1, and we fought back and we smashed them, and we stacked them, and we pinned them. And isn't that how Roman does it? So looking forward to another really good run. Cards versus Texas in the championship game will be huge. So that's what I'm cheering for. Anna DeBeer won the regional MVP. Aiko Jones and Claire Chaussee joined her on the all-region team. If you've never been out to a Louisville volleyball game, I implore you to next season, or even this season, right out to Omaha and catch one real quick. It's probably the most fun you'll have. I've been a Louisville volleyball fan since 2005, and some of the most fun that we had on campus, even that Final Four year, was when me and Farley and Perrin and Tejo would go to the volleyball games to watch all their girlfriends play volleyball, and it was just so intense, and they were so good. Nuts. So make sure you check that out. Western Kentucky beat Wright State by 4 last night. Okay. JK says, respect your tribal chief. Look, as far as this podcast is concerned, I'm the tribal chief of this podcast. Above Ray says there's a lot to pile on when you pile on Higgy. RL says Sat is definitely not oozy. He's not oozy at all. Bubba says it's cold and he's got a lot of insulation. Bubba, you're short. You stop picking on him. That's my job. Scuba says Danny needs a lifetime contract. Agree. Winning volleyball championship would be the icing on the Louisville Cardinal cake. I wonder if it's going to take any of the frustration away. Because a lot of people will tell you they love Louisville basketball, they love Louisville football, they love Louisville baseball, but all the other sports are kind of on a, well, if they win, that's good. If they don't win, then it doesn't really affect me much. But I really feel like volleyball is moving up to that next echelon because of the success that they are having. Chris says football season is going to be incredible. September can't get here sooner, and I wouldn't worry about setting high expectations because those expectations will be met. Will you stop, Chris? Average Hunky says maybe don't attend a volleyball game if you have a heart condition. No, Higgy, I'm not sure why I said it that way. Women's basketball went on the road and beat the Smurf Turds 86-72. Haley Van List scored 21. Liz Dixon chipped in with, or as Higgy wrote, chopped in with 16. Morgan Jones had 12. I'm loving, like, the women's athletic teams here have been holding us down for the last couple seasons since COVID, and maybe even before. I just didn't realize it as much, but they've been holding it down. I already talked about that. Congratulations to Cardinal commits. They won 45-0. Yeah, I already talked about that too. That also won them the national championship. Trevor is working on a reactionary piece. I didn't say Alexa. I said Trevor. I hate you, Higgy. Like right in the middle of the show. Trevor's working on a reactionary piece from the players on the coaching switch. I think Sean's going to review it and post it in the morning. Some good stuff there. Let's see. Let's not forget Katie George is the GOAT in Louisville. I actually asked Jeff for one of the pictures he took of her last night that he sent. So he sent it to her today. Women are always holding things down. Hey, Michelle, look. Yeah. I'm not even going to. Sean wouldn't know that, but I do. Higgy as well, he knows. Brandon says every Shatterfield apologist that had us keeping Sat for a decade and winning 9 games next year better have Brohm down for 10. Look, I wasn't a big Satterfield apologist, but I was a guy that said, hey, when you take over a college football program, it's not like basketball where you can grab 3-4 players, plug them in, and not have to rebuild. Football's a different monster. So, yeah, I was one of those. And I know you're not talking about me specifically, but I was one of those that was like, got to give him like 4 years to get his guys in. I mean, my God, he still had 8 or 9 players from the last coach when he walked out on us. So I did think he deserved the full 4 years that he got. Hey, guys, do you think Coach Brown will watch and keep the coach at the bowl game? Hi, Higgy, miss you, Coach. Oh, this is a plant for sure if he said he misses Higgy. Our women's programs are, that's Hayden, I believe, right? Our women's programs are all pretty good. What up, Hayden? Chris says, Brandon, you're right. What did Yeah, no. I feel like I've got us down for 10 wins next year. I'm just kidding. I don't even know who we're going to have back next year. I will not make any of those assumptions. Besides men's basketball, the university has never won a team sport national title. So yeah, winning a volleyball would be a huge deal. That's interesting. I did not know that our men's basketball championships were the only ones. Bubba says Go Cards beat Purdue. I think our roster is good, though. The guys we had were trying to overcome the staff, in my opinion. I think Satterfield thinks he was coaching Pee Wee football. Look, and I did the right thing. I reached out to Coach Sat. I reached out to Beth. I said, hey, thank you for everything you did for us. Good luck in Cincinnati. That's all I said. Now, I did not tell them that everything they did for us was getting the heck out of our city so Jeff Brohm could come in. So my name's not Jeremy. It's Jeremy. But what's up, dude? Check out the photo galleries. We got a volleyball photo gallery coming out tomorrow, a women's basketball gallery coming out tomorrow. We appreciate you all. Shout out to all of our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Shack in the Back Barbecue, 4-Peck Smokehouse and Bar, Derby City Lawn and Landscaping, and we're working on more. We got a couple of new ones after the first of the year I'm excited to announce. If you would like to sponsor the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy. Give me a call. Shoot me a DM. Let me know in the text chat. We'll figure out something, and you can be a sponsor of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Follow us on social media. Underneath Higgy's glasses, you can see all the places. Hold up there you go. Those are all the places you can find us on social media. Underneath, thank you, Vanna. Vanna Very White. I appreciate that. Underneath me, you can see where you can support the podcast monetarily so that we can do more shows. Yeah, thanks for leaving, Coach. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know it's Hayden. You can find the podcast on all the social media avenues, over 125, and all Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart. Hit subscribe, follow, stalk, stay right there. Whatever it is on your podcast avenue, the plus sign it is on some of them, add us there. Hit the like button on YouTube here while you're tuning in and watching the show as well. Our YouTube channel is just blowing up, and it's because of y'all. It's not because of me. It's because of all of you all. Look, everybody's starting to tune out because they know I'm wrapping the show up. If you're not listening to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy. Go back to cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Check them all out. Hit the podcast tab. It'll drop down. CSZ Podcast. Listen to them all. Shout out to everybody that's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate you all doing that. Big shout out to our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work on ESPN 93.9 The Ville, Monday through Friday from 10 to noon. Shawn, I'm going to go ahead and ask you for your last words. Not ever, but just in general for tonight. Sounds like we have a fourth member of the podcast. The Peanut Gallery.
All the way over in the back. Let's enjoy what's coming up as far as even though the bowl game's going to be a little weird because of the time and all that. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the players who are coming back, see what they look like after all the bowl practices. And, basketball team, let's just see what happens. At least one winnable game for sure. And then Western Kentucky game, it's just we're
about to go on a 3-game winning streak. That's what I'm going to predict.
I'm with you. Okay, 3 games. Let's go. Get the 3-game winning streak. Next thing you know, becomes 4, becomes 5. What do we say? Huh? All right. So other than that, everybody have a good night. Doing Sam's line since he's not here. Sam, shout out to you, man.
No, he don't never show up on time. Don't shout him out. Higgy, what about you? Any final words for the evening?
I was going to say, go out and support our volleyball team in Omaha if you can. But go Cards.
I was just saying it and should have handed to him.
Let the cake.
I swear. What? Go ahead. What'd you say, Higgy?
I was going to say, let the cake bake. So
why didn't you come today with some of those sandwiches?
You know what? That came from church. So I had God's word in my mouth before I came.
All right, I'm sorry, Higgy. Go ahead. That's the best of Higgy. Look, we don't even need to have pronounce. We're going to do some pronounce this after the first of the year. We have to. That was one of the listeners loved that.
I'll give you words.
I know. Look, his partner in crime sets him like she was my. I didn't give her any editing credit or producing credit last year, but she was the one that gave me a majority of the words for him to mispronounce last season. So appreciate that. But go ahead, Higgy. Go ahead. Final words, and I won't push any other buttons this time.
I was gonna say, just go volleyball team. And
Unbelievable.
Go volleyball team and what else? I promise. This time, keep my hands up here.
I can't see your other hand. That's the only thing.
If you look over in the studio, you can see both hands.
Let the cake bake. We'll be just fine, boys and girls.
Okay, you should have known is that he was going to say something about some daggone cake. Bubba says Shawn has a smoldering look. I think it's more like the smothering look. Like somebody's tried to take a pillowcase to him. Wes says that Dweeb blew 2 easy 9-win seasons with terrible coaching and no adjustments. Coach Leach is in the hospital. I hate to hear that. Michelle says, let me start something. You're going to, ain't you? I'm going to be watching to see if Brohm has a slow start, if he will get scrutinized too. Not wishing that on anybody, but just will be interesting to see. Good night. Shout out to Jeff Nunn. He's taking some pictures of my Special Olympics Kentucky basketball team. That's cool. Yes, Fabian, you are late. Walter, the volleyball Final Four is in Omaha, as Michelle told you in the very next one. James says, thank you for this YouTube channel. Look, pitch in over there so we can keep it going. I love doing the YouTube stuff. Are you a Ron English fan? Uncle Larry says, he was here for a year. He didn't really do too bad, didn't do too well, is what it is. The volleyball team is playing the second game of the night on Thursday, so there is no set time for it. They estimate it'll probably be anywhere between 9 and 9:30. Bubba, thank you for loving the YouTube show. Cardinal, I appreciate you. What are you drinking? The same thing I drank when I was 10 years old and I wanted to look like I was cool like everybody else. IBC root beer. I would be going around the room telling my brother, hey, shut up. I'm trying to watch a game. Then mom and dad stopped getting them for me. I just want to say thanks to the volleyball and women's Cardinals for holding us down. Trevor, Sean must be in the bathroom again. Yeah. Good night, Kevin. Brian, appreciate you guys per usual. Always enjoy the information. Bro, y'all got that Google Fiber in Louisville? Yeah, we did, and that's why we're so happy. Rick, Corey, Cardon, Bubba, for sure. Brohm will not start out 0-9. No way, man. Bet we don't run on first down. Geez, why Thursday night? They should do it Friday and Sunday. To be fair, Craggs brought in English Rescue him in 2009. Yeah. Root beer. Yeah, I love it. So my last words are this. And if I can motivate y'all in any way, I'm always down for it. About 2 months ago, I decided to pick myself up, stop being so emotional about losing my dad. I mean, I know it's easier said than done, and you know, it's okay to be emotional. It is what it is. But I was like, if I don't get back in the gym, I'm going to end up in a far worse health than I am now. Far worse health than other people I know. I wasn't pointing at anybody. Anyway, so I decided to get off my butt, change my diet, get in the gym, and I set myself a goal of 50 pounds lost before January 1st. And I'm happy to announce that 2 weeks before the deadline, I'm 2 pounds away from my goal. So we got in it. We're going to do it, and that'll just set my next goal after that is another 50 pounds before spring break. We'll get that done too. But hey, y'all, once again, thanks for all y'all's time. Thanks for your support. We love you all. I'm sure if our guy Yoda was still in here, he'd tell me to hit the dang outro. So I'm going to hit the dang outro. Again, thanks for the support, and we love you all. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone Podcast. Thanks, you all. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Bubba, Corey, Fred, Michelle, H-Man, Walter, Greg. I always hated being called big man. It's like, what? No. Cardon, I'm trying to get like you, man. Trying to get like you. All right, y'all. We're out of here.